Imagine this: every fear, doubt, and struggle you've ever faced isn't just an obstacle, it's a map leading you to your true self. What if the key to understanding who you are and what you're meant to do lies in the very parts of yourself you've ignored or suppressed? Today, we're diving into one of Carl Jung's most transformative concepts, the shadow. This isn't just some abstract theory. By the end of this exploration, you'll have insights that could reshape your life. Let's uncover how the parts of yourself you hide might actually hold the key to your greatest strengths, deepest purpose, and ultimate freedom. Carl Jung, a pioneer of depth psychology, introduced the concept of the shadow as the part of ourselves we reject. It encompasses everything we deem unacceptable: hidden traits, suppressed desires, and unacknowledged impulses. These are the aspects of us that we'd rather not acknowledge, much less share with the world. However, here lies a profound paradox. Those very things we try to bury are often the seeds of our potential. Jung believed that the shadow is not inherently evil or harmful, but is instead a reservoir of untapped energy and creativity. This makes the shadow both a challenge and an opportunity. It's not just about confronting darkness, but about discovering the treasure buried within it. Think about how often you judge others harshly for traits you secretly recognize in yourself. This is what Jung referred to as projection. When we project, we see in others the parts of ourselves we're unwilling to accept. Have you ever felt inexplicable anger or irritation towards someone, only to later realize they embodied qualities you also possess but wish you didn't? Jung captured this dynamic succinctly when he said, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves." These moments of irritation are like mirrors reflecting back the hidden parts of our psyche. The shadow, then, isn't something to fear, but something to examine and integrate. The shadow matters because it represents not just the darker side of our psyche, but also the parts of ourselves that are rich with energy and potential. Within the shadow are dreams we've dismissed, emotions we've avoided, and passions we've suppressed because we deemed them wrong or inappropriate. But what if those aspects aren't flaws to fix? What if they are messages waiting to be understood? Jung emphasized that the shadow is not the opposite of the self, but an integral part of it. By embracing the shadow, we move closer to wholeness and authenticity. Great stories throughout history reflect this journey of confronting the shadow. Heroes in mythology and literature often face external enemies, but their greatest battles are with their inner demons. Hercules had to wrestle with his rage, and Luke Skywalker in Star Wars had to confront the darkness within himself before he could truly triumph. These stories aren't just entertaining, they're metaphors for our psychological journeys. We too are the heroes of our own lives, and the shadow is our call to adventure. The question is, are you ready to confront the parts of yourself you've been running from? One of the most fascinating aspects of the shadow is how it manifests in our daily lives, particularly through projection. Projection is a psychological defense mechanism where we attribute our own unconscious thoughts, feelings, or traits to others. For instance, if you've ever felt envious of someone's success or irritated by their confidence, it might be worth asking yourself why. Often, the qualities we dislike in others are the very traits we've repressed within ourselves. Recognizing this dynamic can be profoundly liberating. It shifts the focus from blaming others to understanding ourselves. This is where the real work begins. Shadow work is the process of bringing these hidden parts of ourselves into the light of awareness. It's not about eradicating our flaws or becoming perfect. Instead, it's about integration, what Jung called individuation. Individuation is the journey toward becoming whole, where we accept and harmonize all aspects of ourselves, both light and dark. Imagine a painter who only uses bright colors. They might create something pretty, but it will lack depth. Add contrast, shadow, and darker tones, and suddenly the painting becomes a masterpiece. Our lives are no different. Shadow work allows us to add depth and authenticity to who we are. Starting shadow work can feel daunting, but it's also deeply rewarding. It begins with self-awareness. The next time you feel a strong emotional reaction, whether it's anger, fear, or admiration, pause and ask yourself, what does this reveal about me? Triggers are not just irritations, they are opportunities for growth. They highlight the parts of ourselves that need attention and care. Journaling can also be a powerful tool. Write down your recurring thoughts, dreams, and emotions. Jung himself was a prolific journaler, using this practice to delve into his unconscious mind. By putting your inner world into words, you create a space for reflection and understanding. Another technique is to imagine having a dialogue with your shadow. Picture sitting across from the parts of yourself you've hidden away. Ask them questions like, what are you protecting me from? Or, what do you need to feel acknowledged? This might feel strange at first, but it's incredibly powerful. The more you engage with your shadow, the more you'll realize it's not an enemy, but a guide. It's there to show you the parts of yourself that need healing and integration. The shadow also plays a significant role in relationships. Have you ever noticed patterns in your interactions with others? Maybe you find yourself clashing with certain people or repeating the same mistakes in your relationships. These patterns are not random, they're clues pointing to unresolved aspects of your shadow. By understanding your shadow, you can start to see conflict not as a problem but as an opportunity for growth. You'll begin to approach relationships with greater empathy and self-awareness. Embracing the shadow doesn't just improve your relationships, it also unlocks your creativity. The parts of you that you suppress often contain your greatest passions and gifts. Think about the artists, writers, and innovators who have created extraordinary work by tapping into their inner worlds. Their creativity didn't come from avoiding their shadows, but from embracing them. By integrating your shadow, you access a wellspring of inspiration and originality. Jung believed that integrating the shadow doesn't just transform your individual life, it contributes to the collective human experience. When you align with your authentic self, you inspire others to do the same. This ripple effect can lead to a more compassionate and connected world. The shadow, then, is not just a personal journey, but a collective one. It's about moving toward a deeper understanding of ourselves and each other. So, what is your shadow trying to tell you? The journey of shadow work isn't easy. It requires courage, honesty, and a willingness to face discomfort. But the reward is profound, a life of purpose, freedom, and authenticity. As Jung said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. By embracing your shadow, you take a step closer to that privilege. You create a life that is not just lived but fully experienced, rich with depth, meaning, and connection. The shadow is not something to fear but something to embrace. It's a reminder that we are complex, multifaceted beings, capable of incredible growth and transformation. By confronting the parts of ourselves we've hidden away, we don't just overcome our fears, we become whole. Are you ready to take the first step into the depths of your inner world? Let's embrace the shadow and create a masterpiece of our lives,